to the car that defied logic. Welcome to the greatest BMW M5 of all time. Welcome to the F90 M5 CS.
You might be wondering why I'm revisiting a car that's 5 years old and out of production, especially when the shiny new M5 gives us so much to talk about. But stick with me, because this car is absolutely worth us taking a second look.
The M5 model line goes all the way back to the 1980s, and as a car designed to go fast and make you smile, the evolution of all things four wheels hasn't exactly been weighted in its favour.
Engine sound, lightweight, responsiveness, individuality, character, simplicity. Those are all things that we value and cherish in a performance car, yet they're also, unfortunately, the kind of qualities that have just been watered down as the years go by. If you ask most people to name their favourite version of a fast car whose lineage stretches back more than 40 years, then they'll probably mention something from the 80s, the 90s, maybe the noughties. But it is almost unheard of that a car from 2021 will even be in the conversation.
However, if you asked me and many others to pick the very best M5 that ever was, the F90 CS would be my answer.
Let me give you an example of why this car is different. A regular F90 M5 competition makes 616 brake horsepower from a 4.4-litre twin-turbocharged V8. This, the top-of-the-line super special CS model, uses the same engine to make 626 brake horsepower, just 10 bhp more. That's it.
This was a great decision, because if there was one thing that the F90 M5 didn't need, it was more power. 0 to 62 miles an hour was already a mere 3.3 seconds, and despite the minuscule power increase, the CS took that down to 3 seconds dead.
Upgrades to the engine include throttle turbos, increased injector pressures, and a new, at the time, stainless steel active exhaust system that, together with less sound deadening all round, means the song of that S63 engine is no longer muffled by layers of German Luxo barge lard.
The CS engine is the perfect example of why you don't always need more power. The numerical figure has increased by 1.6%, but the difference feels more like 30%. It is the best version of the S63 engine by miles.
Oh, it's almost like you've taken the engine out of eco mode and found the sport button, and it wasn't exactly sluggish before. Feels more responsive, and it revs harder. It's louder, it's edgier, and it's angrier. It is exactly what an M5 should be.
Part of this increased alertness is surely down to the weight saving. And unlike the latest M2 CS that shaves as little as 30 kilograms off its 1.7-ton curb weight, the M5 CS managed to lose a whole 70 kilograms. That's worth an entire passenger. And as such, this 2021 M5 CS weighs just 50 kilograms more than its M3 little brother from the same era.
Okay, fine, so it's not a Caterham, but at 1.8 tons for something this big, with this much luxury on board, it is not the end of the world, especially when the new M5 is over 2.4 tons.
Further changes to the ride height dropped by 7mm, and the adaptive dampers, borrowed from the M8 Gran Coupe and designed to help reduce fluctuation in wheel loads, mean the chassis is far better suited for fast road driving. Lightly but firmly grasp the steering wheel in your hands, and the feeling telegraphed through the Alcantara is not one of heft or lethargy, but delicate, definite response that imbues you with endless confidence in the car underneath.
And that's not confidence born from an understeery, super safe setup. Like all F90 M5s, the CS uses a rear-biased all-wheel drive system, but there is scope to put more power, if not all the power, to the rear wheels. Which is great if you like destroying 600 quid's worth of tyres in just over an hour. Although if you do put it into the four-wheel drive sport or rear-wheel drive setting, you really get a sense of just how good the balance is. It's got a front end for days, but a rear that actually keeps up with it. And even on a road like this that is far from perfectly surfaced, it always feels settled, it's always composed. This car is honed, perfectly honed. So is the M5 CS perfect? No, not quite. I don't think it is. The gearbox isn't as pin sharp as the rest of the car, and the central armrest doesn't open. That's it. But seriously though, what car is perfect? I know the other M5s certainly aren't. People get misty-eyed over the E39 and the E60, and I get it, I do, they are brilliant. But if we're being really honest, the E39 steering is quite a big deal in that it doesn't give you any feel at all, and the E60's engine, while amazing, is about as reliable as British weather. No, this thing is where it's at. It's as close to perfection as it gets for an M5.
Don't forget, this is the sort of car that has to combine fun with luxury. It's a near impossible task, and seldom has a manufacturer got it so right as they have with the M5 CS. The ride, for example, is better than it is in the M5 Comp. In that, there's a feeling that it's overly stiff so as to give the agility and responses that an M5 demands. Whereas in this, BMW's pulled off a miracle and delivered a car that can ride properly and feel like a sports car.
I've been driving this car all day. I live nowhere near here. I drove it to this location. I'm going to drive it all the way back again, and I'm not fussed about the prospect of it because this is an excellent cruiser. It's got a great cabin. It's actually peak cabin. This is where I think the 5 Series really delivered some of its best work, because if you go into the next generation, then there's too many screens and not enough buttons. It's not the case in this. And I actually think that as an all-rounder, so for driving long distances and for cruising, but then getting to the fun, fast roads, there's nothing better than this M5 CS. I've been trying to think of something better, but with every other car, you've got to compromise. You either turn up to the fun roads with your ears bleeding and your back turned to dust, or you get here feeling refreshed, but also ready to be slightly underwhelmed. Not so in this. Not one bit of it.
Honestly, I don't think we'll see a car like this ever again. But it does give me hope that years after what many believe to be the peak era of the performance car, BMW can turn around and deliver something as special as this. For me, the M5 CS is the ultimate M5.